Okay, well, thanks so much, Athena. Hello and welcome everyone to our annual business meeting. Thanks so much for making time to celebrate this year that we've had together, to find out some updates as to what we are endeavoring to do, continuing to do, and great news about the wonderful team members that are on the ground at the office with Athena, and also new board members that are joining us. So we are looking forward to a great business meeting, and we have a packed agenda, so let's get straight into it. Next slide, please. Okay, so as promised, here's our packed agenda. So here I am with the welcome. My name is Dr. Joseph Guillory. I have the pleasure of being your board president throughout this 2023 calendar year. And I will be navigating us through the agenda items throughout today. We'll do some introductions just so everyone's on the same page as to who serves you all from a board member leadership perspective, as well as from the staff that's in the office, boots on the ground, and making so many great strides at NAMI North Texas. Then we'll launch into the financial report to give you a sense of how the organization is doing from that standpoint, celebrate accomplishments, give you a sense of where we are expecting and endeavoring to go for 2024, and then reminding you all about some upcoming events. Okay, so there I am with the bow tie. I've already introduced myself. We have a wonderful vice president, treasurer, and secretary. So we have Pasha, Dr. Rahman here, who's the director of pharmacy services for Medical City Green Oaks. Lakeisha Brown, who's a CPA for her own company. She's our treasurer. And then we have Nicole Bowers, who's our secretary, who serves as a mental health coordinator for the Plano Police Department. So when we look at the members at large on the board, we have Heather Bianchi. She's Executive Vice President for Behavioral Transformations. Phyllis Finley, Community Outreach Coordinator for Denton County MHMR. Elise Ferguson, JD, attorney. Rosenthal, Calabas, and Tierian. I'm sorry, Elise, if I butchered that. That's the group she's with. Deborah Goodall, a self-employed and attorney. Officer Ty Gieri, mental health liaison and SWAT negotiator for Garland Police Department. Courtney Hymas, associate director, counseling and advising, North Central Texas College. Isaac Padilla,
senior project with one of the camera.
How did you join it to begin with?
Okay.
Sorry, if you can mute yourselves. We
try leaving.
Thank you so much. Isaac Padilla.
Joe, you're muted.
Now I have been, everyone was muted. Okay, that executive order went quickly and swiftly. Okay, thank you so much, Athena, for helping us with that technical piece. But we're back. All right, so Isaac Padilla, Senior Project Manager and Director. Claudia Smith, family member, part of the Hispanic Advocacy, serves in the role of Hispanic Advocacy Chair for NAMI North Texas, and then Sharonda, Program Manager for Blue Help. So I have not done any of these positions and these individuals justice. And so I do see a few of us on the call. So I'll actually make space for everyone to just kind of say hello. I'm going to do a little Brady Bunch call out to make space for everyone. So Heather, I see you're on the call. Would you mind unmuting and introducing yourself?
All right. Hi, I'm Heather Bianchi. I am Executive Vice President for Behavioral Transformations. We work with kiddos with autism spectrum disorder. We provide ABA therapy, OT, speech therapy, and counseling services so that we can, treat the whole child.
What is the rest?
And so that's really about it. I've been on the board for almost 2 years now. So that's it.
Thanks so much, Heather. Phyllis?
Hi, good evening. I'm Phyllis Finley, and I am the Community Outreach Coordinator for Denton County MHMR Center. I've served at the center this is my 30th year, and we provide an array of services. We serve as the local mental health and IDD authority for Denton County. So we serve children as young as 3, adults through the lifespan, and all kinds of services, everything from crisis to regular case management, substance use disorder services, and so a wealth of lots of different kinds of services through the local authority. So, and I'm also a parent of an adult child that has a severe and persistent mental health concern.
Wonderful. Thank you, Phyllis. And then next, I think I see Todd, or I saw Todd. Is Todd still here? Or maybe I made that up.
See him join. Yeah, I didn't see him join.
Okay, and so in fact, I did make that up. I apologize. But hopefully, if you've been a member of the NAMI North Texas community, you have heard of or at least had the opportunity to meet Todd. He's wonderful. Then Isaac, I see you're on the call. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Isaac Padilla. I'm a senior project manager and director of RGDB, which is a high-end residential architecture and construction firm. I also have extensive background in marketing. For a while, I worked at 7-Eleven on the franchising side, and I'm also an entrepreneur, so I own a couple of businesses as well. And I've been on the board now for over 2 years.
Thanks, Isaac. Then next, I think we have Claudia on.
She's been having some technical difficulties. I think she has a connection issue, so she may or may not be able to jump in.
Okay. Claudia, if you're trying to speak, you're muted. It almost looks like you're trying to. Okay. All right. And then for our executive committee member, oh, did we get someone? All right. For our executive committee members, Keisha, would you like to unmute and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Keisha Brown. I am the owner of LV Brown CPA. I specialize in nonprofit organizations, and I joined the board about 3 months ago.
Thank you so much, Keisha, and serves as our treasurer as a reminder. And then Nicole.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Nicole Bowers. I'm with Plano Police Department as the mental health coordinator, and I work on a team with 4 officers, and we follow up with individuals that have frequent contact with the police department due to their mental health conditions, and also those that have been arrested and are facing criminal charges, and also dealing with a mental health condition. And so we try to get those folks connected with services within the community to try to mitigate those future crises, and so they won't have to continue to have contact with the police department. I also teach at our academy and teach veteran officers in our 40-hour mental health class. And I've been serving on the board with NAMI since we had NAMI Collin County back in 2014. And so this will actually be my final round with the board.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. And then I see Pasha, you're muted, and I can't see if you're on. Oh, there you go.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Pasha Rahman. I am the Director of Pharmacy Services at Medical City Greenhouse Hospital. We are a mental health facility. We primarily serve Dallas County, but also neighboring counties as well. We are a licensed facility for 124 beds. I have been the Director of Pharmacy there for the past 6 years, and been on the board for NAMI North Texas for the last 2 years.
Thank you so much, Pasha. All right, and with that, I think I've covered folks that are here present today in terms of the board members, both the executive committee and members at large. Please know that we are here to serve you all in any capacity that you feel may be helpful. So we're accessible. We would love to support you in any way, and we're here to lead the organization, and are very open to feedback and pieces of your experience that you feel like would be helpful for the organization's leadership to know. Next slide. So as Nicole alluded to, we have some outgoing board members. So Nicole, who you guys all heard from, Claudia, who's present, but having a few technical difficulties, and then Deborah. These three board members have all contributed in different ways over the years and have been all by and large invaluable in what they have been able to serve and contribute. So I don't want to take up too much time, but I also want to make a little bit of space just for words of gratitude to each of them specifically. So to Nicole, you were on the board before I was. You were very helpful in helping me just kind of get my bearings. You've always had such an approachable demeanor, and you've been so kind and feedback because I feel like you have so much to give in terms of wisdom and guidance, and you've been very compassionate in delivering it to me personally, and to others on the board as well. You serve in so many ways, and you do it, I think, in a very peaceable manner that leaves such a great impact on everyone you come in contact with. So as you transition into a different role of serving NAMI North Texas, because we know that you will never be completely done with us, we thank you so much for your service, Nicole. For Claudia, I refer to her as mi madre, and I think that speaks volumes to her and our relationship, and her warmth and her genuineness and her ability to advocate for many groups, including the group that she identifies with, the Latinx community, and helping us not only improve accessibility, but also trust with the Latinx community, because mental health, as we know, does not discriminate no matter what you look like, where you come from, or the color of your skin. And so it's super important for us to always meet people's needs where they are, regardless of how they identify and where they come from. So Claudia is transitioning into more of a boots on the ground role, which we're very happy and thankful for as she rolls off of the board. So thank you so much, Claudia, for all that you've given. And then finally, oh, wonderful, you're here. Yes.
Yes.
You're absolutely welcome, mi madre.
I'm very happy and humble, and it's been a long ride, a very long ride, but I'm not going away from NAMI. To the contrary, I want to spend more time, like you say, with the boots on the ground, helping people not only in the Metroplex, but to a state level. I'm going to train more teachers. I'm going to do support groups. I'm going to see as much as I can to get the community involved in this battle against the mental health and all the stigma that we have in this world. Yes. So it was an honor, and it was a privilege to be part of this board for such a long time. But I think it's time to move on, and I'm going to leave the path to a very experienced and wonderful people that are going to do wonderful things for this organization. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, of course. Okay, and then our third and final board member that's rolling off is Deborah Goodall. So Deborah has contributed in different ways to the board, and a lot of what she's contributed has been from the sidelines per se. So she functions from a space of one-on-one interactions and being able to contribute and guidance and being able to give advice. She's such a powerful advocate. If you know Deborah from working with her or coming across any kind of avenues, I would not want to be, on the other side of the courtroom from Deborah Goodall, because she comes with lots of energy and passion for what she does, and including being on the board. So she was actually a part of the board years ago, and we brought her back. And she said yes to the call and has served quite well, and recognizes that it's her time to shift into a different type of service to NAMI North Texas, and continues to contribute. And we're very thankful for her tenure here and her return, and now her rolling off. So thank you so much, Deborah. All right, and with that, we have our new board members, Felicia Wadsworth, Montserrat Mata, Lee Pearson, and Khadija Ibrahim. And I think I see every one of them here. So yes, I'm going to ask you to unmute and just give us a brief little intro about yourself and your excitement about joining the board. So how about we start with Khadija?
Okay, yeah, found it. Sorry about that. Hi, I'm Khadija. I am a nurse, a psychiatric nurse practitioner at the Oak Clinic. I've had the pleasure of being in psych for close to 12 years. I started off as a floor nurse, became a director. I've worked as house supervisor. I've moved around a lot within just psych nursing, as just psych nursing, period. Now I'm in the position where I can actually give back to the community, by kind of helping my patients, navigate through this whole mental health system, being able to educate and stuff like that. Now, starting this new role kind of prepared me or got me more interested. I have the wonderful pleasure of working with Pasha Rahman, the director of pharmacy at Green Oaks, because I've worked side by side with him as a director. So just working in this, I'm looking forward to being able to work with the community more, be more involved in terms of being able to help in any way I can, whether it's working as a team, volunteering out there, however way that I can be utilized. I want to be out there, and I want to be able to help people. I think
Wonderful.
That's it.
Well, thank you. Congratulations and welcome, Khadija.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, Montserrat.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I have a little bit of difficult with my technology, but my name is Montserrat Mata, and I work with Avance. I'm a case worker, but today they gave me a new surprise. Since I also changing my position here in Avance. Now they put me like a mental health specialist now. That's a new role also here in Avance. And I'm really excited to, work with the old guys. I'm new also, not just here, but, on the different kind of levels. Since I try to work and do my best for my community too, to understand more a little bit on mental health, since it's also, a, a big barrier for mental health, the Hispanic and Latino community. And one of my passions is on the community too. My heart it's in there, but also they know where they can find those kind of resources, where they can see themselves, going through a lot of things, but they're not by themselves. So, and one of my mission, be here with you all guys is to bring a little bit of help and hope to those people, and see what I can do, and whatever it works together for myself, but also with you guys, so we can provide those services, and any kind of resources that I have on my own, I can help also with this community. But that's one of my biggest challenge right now, and hopefully I can do my best to be part of this organization.
Thank you, Monse, and double congratulations on your role change within Avance and your entry into the board of directors.
Thank you.
Okay, and then Lee.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be asked to be part of NAMI. I'm with the District Attorney's Office. I'm Chief of the Mental Health Division. This November, I will have been an attorney for 29 years. I've been with the DA's office since July of 2011, and I've seen a lot of changes there. When I first moved into the Mental Health Division, there were 2 of us, and we've been working this year getting fully staffed on the mental health team with all these positions that we've gotten created because of all the new identification we're doing at the criminal courthouse to try to help people with mental health issues and things. We're finally almost fully staffed. We will be at the end of November, and there'll be 16 of us, 11 attorneys and 5 support staff. So I look forward to working with everybody to see how we can work together, how we can kind of keep growing, and maybe you can help us at the courthouse with different services and things like that. We work with a lot of the providers and want to work with more. Pasha and I have already been exchanging emails, and I think he's been waiting on me for a little bit to send back some dates. I've had some people out, but like I say, we're going to be fully staffed by the end of the year. So I'm super excited about what we can do.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Lee, and congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next slide, please. All right, I'll hand it over to Athena.
Okay, hello all. Felicia Wadsworth was the 4th person on there. She was having connection issues. She wasn't able to get back on yet. So I just want to say we are excited to have her back on the board, and just give a little background. She's a retired teacher and is the mother of a daughter with schizophrenia. So she's a family member. And she's our former youth programs coordinator. She's a former board member, and now she's back on the board again. And she is very passionate about the advocacy piece and not afraid to speak up and go down to Austin and advocate for all of us. So I want to make sure that gets out there about Felicia, because she's made a huge difference in many people's lives, especially for other parents. She and Claudia both are excellent resources as mothers of daughters with schizophrenia. So I want to introduce you to our staff, because there's a few people you may not know yet. Some people you may recognize. We've got a few of them on here, and some have other things they have to do as well, so they're not able to jump on. But we are just so excited. We are fully staffed, and we've got the most amazing talent with NAMI North Texas. So if you don't know me yet, my name is Athena Trenton. I am the executive director, and I just had my 4th anniversary here at NAMI North Texas. And if you don't know my background has been in student affairs. My doctorate is in international multicultural education and educational leadership. And I started transitioning when I moved to Dallas into nonprofit management. And when I found this job at NAMI, it was a very, very serendipitous experience, because I didn't know what empowering, what it meant to empower you with your story. And before NAMI, I was probably a denier. I denied my own mental health issues until I realized that, 1, I wasn't alone, and 2, that there's this whole community, this whole family out there that, helps empower people and provides resources and support. And we have a whole community to pull together so that we can help anybody and everybody. As Dr. Guillory said earlier, mental health does not discriminate in any way, shape, or form. So what I'd like to do is introduce you to just say a quick note about the people who are not on with us. And if I missed you, if I say you're not here and you actually are, just unmute yourself and give a shout out. But I know Tiffany is unable to join us tonight. She is our current youth programs coordinator. She is completing her master's in social work this semester, so we are so excited for her. And she has done an absolutely amazing job picking up where Felicia left off and growing our youth programs. And you'll see in a slide very soon what she's done, what she's actually accomplished. But she is an absolute rock star in that area. Detective Michelle Horridge, I'll talk a little bit more under our accomplishments section about our partnership with Flower Mound Police Department to run our first responder programs. But she has been an amazing partner. She is now coordinating that program, and is doing an absolutely phenomenal job working with one of our board members, Officer Todd Jerry, who was actually the brain behind the idea. And this program is the first of its kind in the nation, and we'll talk about those accomplishments in a bit. Alyssa, I don't think she was able to jump on, so Alyssa is probably our newest employee. She's been here for almost a year, and she's our community engagement coordinator. So any volunteers out there, you have probably gone through orientation with her, communicated with her, and she has done an absolutely phenomenal job at standardizing the volunteer onboarding process. She is so passionate and involved with the volunteers and so good at working with them and getting people trained and getting people where the best fit for them within the organization is in relation to what they want to volunteer for. And then we have Marissa. She is our communications coordinator. And when you get emails, when you interact on our social media, our website, all of that kind of stuff, she takes care of all of that. And she started out as one of our interns, and then when that position opened up, she wanted to stay with us. So she does that, and she also supports Casey with all of our fundraising and special events. And I know Casey is here. So Casey, do you want to just introduce yourself and what you do?
Hi, everybody. My name is Casey. I'm the Director of Community Partnerships. That is a fancy name to say that I ask people for money. But yeah, so I handle our fundraising, a lot of our partnerships, especially ones that deal with raising funds for us. I handle our events. And so if you guys have ideas for how to raise money, how to create advantageous partnerships in the community, that is what I would love to talk to you guys about. And as board members, you will probably hear from me quite often asking for your help and your support. I have a background in social work and then switched to business. So nonprofit is where my heart is. And so I've been here about a year now. So I am looking forward to the next year.
Thanks, Casey. And then Ajong, I saw you jump on. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. So my name is Ajong Tag. I am a graduate student at Texas Women's University. I'm currently pursuing my master's in public health. And I'm just excited to just introduce myself as the new communications intern.
And what are you doing for us? Because this is brand new. We've never done anything like it before.
So two of my main aspects are social media and then research. So research, I would just kind of address like the gaps between different mental health. And then also with regards to social media, I do want to implement TikTok and like other ways that we can reach different audiences, and then just continue to spread this awareness.
Great. Thanks, John. So all of you stand by. I don't even have any clue how TikTok works because I've never logged into it or created an account, but we're going to be adding that to our list of social media platforms very soon. They were, everybody was doing some videos last week and they were having a blast doing some of the videos. And so look forward to that and watch for our TikToks coming up. Carolyn, are you out there now?
Yes, I am. Is it my turn to take the stage and say what we do?
Yes, you are center stage.
So I am the program director. I've been in this role now for about a year, and I joined the NAMI North Texas team last summer, so 2022, and it's been great to learn, about all the different facilitators, their stories with how they've been relating to mental health, how passionate they are about it. And I oversee our support groups, classes, and then I help both Alyssa and Tiffany with their roles with going into schools and then doing community outreach, helping with volunteers. So basically, if it's something that we do, I'm a part of it, so I could be your point of contact for that.
Thanks, Carolyn. So now you have a really good concept of what areas in this organization everybody oversees. So if you have an interest in volunteering, contact Alyssa. If you're already a volunteer and a NAMI member, but you want to become a support group facilitator, contact Carolyn. If you have some connections in the business community, contact Casey. So this is part of us introducing ourselves so that you know who in this organization does what, and you know exactly where to go. And you can get our email addresses on our website if you don't already have them. So now, next, I get to brag about everybody. Oh, no, sorry. I get to brag about everybody after this slide. Lakeisha, our treasurer, is going to give you our annual financial report.
Hello again, everyone. Just wanted to give you a financial overview where we are right now year to date as of September 30th, 2023. As you can see, our income and expenses are over 400,000, and it's about 73% of the budget and 73% spent. So, you know, we're around 75% of the way through the year. So we've got about 25% left. So we're right on track. Our cash position is checking 118,637, savings 100,131, and investments 2973 for a total of 439,741. So if there are any questions, I'll take any questions at this time. Yes, Joanne.
So is savings, say from a past year NAMI walk? Savings as a category.
Savings is what we have set aside for future
expenses, right?
Your expenses. Athena, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I can jump in on that. Basically, when I came to the organization, we had some money in checking. We did not have a savings account, and we didn't need all that sitting in checking. So moving it to a savings account, we got to acquire a little bit of interest that way because I wasn't going into that money. And we put that for emergencies, as well as it's really important, just like any small business, to make sure that you have access to at least 6 months worth of cash reserves. Just in case something happens, like with the pandemic, if we didn't have PPP loans and mental health was not at the forefront to make it a little bit easier to get grants so we could continue to function, we would need to dig into that reserve so that we could continue to exist. So we keep the savings and the investments there to make sure that if we need to fall back on that, that we can.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Athena.
Quick question. What is the risk profile on the investments?
We are actually, Athena and I are scheduled to meet with our financial advisor within the next 2 weeks. So we're going to do a deep dive into all of that then. And, you know, he will give us an overview of, you know, how our investments have done year to date. And so, you know, if you want to check back with us, you know, we are available here. You know, you want to, you know, get back in touch with us after we meet with the financial advisor. We'll be happy to give you more information about that.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
enjoy what we've had so far. These existed when I got here and we haven't touched it. We haven't added to it or taken from it. And they're low to medium risk. The person who up until this year managed this for us has retired. So we're meeting with somebody new this year, and that's why we don't have a lot to say until we know who this person is and what their approach is to managing the investments.
Any other questions? If not, thank you very much. We'll move on.
Okay, thank you, Lakeisha. So now I get to brag on people. So we have just grown leaps and bounds, and it was really hard to narrow down the accomplishments from 2023, what we've been able to get done so far this year. So I had everybody give me at least one accomplishment, and this is what we pulled together to highlight for you tonight. Most recently, we learned that we have been granted $85,000 to expand our youth programs. And part of that grant is funding for a back to school resource fair. It's a new idea, something that we hope we can make turn into an annual event. And Tiffany will be working on that as soon as we get through the end of this calendar year. And so I get to expand a little bit our Overwatch peer support. If you don't know what OPS is, this is our one-on-one peer support network for first responders. We started out with just law enforcement, and starting in November, we're expanding it to fire and EMS as well. NAMI National has officially launched this nationally. It's the first of its kind. We created it, and NAMI helped us pull together the resources to be able to pass it off to them so that it can be a NAMI signature program. Now, anybody across the entire US, any of the over 600 NAMI organizations can implement this. And the whole perspective is, one, first responder mental health is extremely important. They have to make split-second decisions when they're out protecting our community and helping. So if they have better mental health, they make better decisions. Also, they have some of the highest rates of suicide. So what we're hoping is this program will help create a safe space outside of their department, but with another first responder with a similar background for one-on-one peer support. And it will be a way for them to reach out, and it be completely confidential, and nobody will know except Detective Horridge and whoever she matches that person up with out of the nearly 100 people we have already trained. We have been asked to send, when there is an officer death or when the mass shooting in Allen happened, we were asked to send ops supporters out in groups to help teams. So even the police departments as a whole are asking us to come out in teams. So it's not just it's one-on-one, but we come out in teams so that we can be there for any individuals who need to reach out for us. So we are so excited that Detective Horridge is able to run that program. She is Flower Mound's mental health liaison. And Flower Mound is more than happy to dedicate some of her time to help us make sure the coordination happens and provide additional training for police officers, first responders, fire EMS, anybody. And this covers communications, dispatchers, corrections, anyone and everybody who is a first responder or some type of peace officer or law enforcement officer. We hosted, I'm giving kudos to Carolyn, she pulled together some in-person program leader trainings. We've had family support group trainings, and we have some other trainings scheduled for this year, and we have not had our own local state trainers who are able to train for us in several years. And so this was the first time since 2017 we were able to host in-person trainings and start training our own people instead of relying on other NAMIs or NAMI Texas to do the training. I have to give kudos to Claudia. Claudia has been working tirelessly to help us expand our Spanish-speaking programs. She will jump in for a Spanish-speaking family support group and De Familia a Familia to teach that class anytime. She is now a state trainer. So we do have a December. If anybody is interested in teaching family to family in Spanish, please talk to Claudia or connect with Carolyn, because we are having a training, I believe it's December 6th and 7th, to train more De Familia teachers. So we can continue to expand for our Spanish-speaking community. And then we will, hopefully before the end of this year, we will be offering Connection Support Group in Spanish as well. Tiffany, some of her many accomplishments, launched NAMI on campus. We're one of the first in the nation to have a solid foundation and be implementing both at the high school and college university level. She has been contacted by other NAMIs, by NAMI Texas, to help other affiliates launch their NAMI on campus groups. And NAMI on campus is a student group with an on-campus advisor, and we help them implement a mental health student organization. And we ran into some issues being able to get into public schools this past year for reasons, because we talk about some sensitive issues. So it was very hard to go directly into schools. So Tiffany shifted her focus and started redirecting her recruiting efforts to student focused organizations like Girl Scouts. What else was there? Boys and Girls Clubs, other nonprofit organizations that work with schools versus trying to go directly into the schools. And that has paid off tremendously. And we have reached significantly more students than ever through our Ending the Silence, including parents and support staff. And then Carolyn and our wonderful support group facilitators. I'm going to give a shout out to Joy, and I don't know who else is on the call tonight. I believe we're starting dual support groups in Rockwall too. What that means is we have a peer support group, a connection support group, and a family support group at the same time, so that the families can come with their loved one and have their separate support groups, then come back together afterwards. More and more people are requesting that and requesting that it be in person. Alyssa and our entire staff, everybody has a hand in increasing our volunteer participation, and we're continuing to increase that each year. The further along we are out of the pandemic, the more requests we have to help us. So we can't do this without all of you out there and the time that you give to this community to help us make sure everybody has access to mental health services, to support groups, to information and education. And then our community engagement goals. We have had more speaker and resource table requests than ever. So many that, we sometimes have to have staff members. We have plenty of volunteers, but we've had so many requests. We need more volunteers to fill all of these requests. And so these are just some of the highlights of this past year. We have been incredibly busy trying to meet the demand and the needs of the community. And these are just, some of the highlights. There's so much more I could go into, but I do not want to keep you all night. So let's look forward to 2024. And again, this is a full staff effort, but I want to give Marissa and Casey a shout out, because and Carolyn, if you look under the annual events, the only annual event that is one that has happened every year for several years is our NAMI Walk. Everybody expects that. That's going to happen again in May. We're expecting it to be in Frisco again. But if you notice, we have 4 brand new annual events, all of them highly successful this year for the very first year we held them. In June, we had a Pride Symposium and just had the most fabulous speakers talking about mental health in the LGBTQ+ community. We will be doing that annually every year in June. And then we had a Minority Mental Health Month Symposium. I want to give a shout out to everybody, all our volunteers who helped us with that symposium as well, because there is no way it could be that big. We had 30 some resource tables. We had the most amazing panel talking about the unique experiences from all the different cultural and racial backgrounds. So we had people from the Black and African American community. We had Indigenous community represented, the Hispanic community represented. And I'm trying to remember who else was on the panel. But it was really, really a phenomenal, great learning experience. And then our Overwatch Classic is a fundraising event specifically to fund the OPS program. What we hope is that it gets big enough each year to fund that program every year. And so I want to give a shout out to Detective Horridge and Casey and Marissa and everybody who worked on that. The first year, it was fabulous. And then Strike Out Stigma, we just had that in Rockwall, and oh my God, was it fun. If anybody's out there who was there and playing, we had so much fun bowling at Shenanigans. We're totally going to do it again next year. In our community, I mentioned earlier, we're going to expand youth programs. We're going to NAMI on campus, the student groups are growing, and we're going to start a back to school mental health resource fair. Which will start, I'm guessing it'll be like in August, just like any other back to school resource fair. And that's what we're going to be using that NAMI grant for. We're going to continue to expand Spanish speaking programs, especially now that we have Claudia as a state trainer. We also have Rebecca Enriquez. She's been trained as a state trainer in peer-to-peer and connections. So we've got lots of opportunities to be able to train other people on our schedule instead of on another organization's schedule when these trainings are offered. And then we're going to continue to expand our Overwatch peer support program. It's just the demand on that has been more than we ever imagined. So these are just a sneak peek into 2024, and who knows what else is going to come our way, what other opportunities we're going to have. If I can get this forwarded. And then I just want to highlight some upcoming events. And so Thursday, November 16th, NAMI North Texas is a co-lead sponsor with Collin County and Texas Judicial, Lee, you probably know the full name of it. Anyway, this is Thursday, November 16th. There's still plenty of space available if anybody wants to register. It's a day of educational seminars. And there's tracks. You can go to our website and find out exactly what would be discussed during that day to see if that's something you want to be part of. If you haven't heard, the NAMI Texas State Conference is in Houston, November 3rd and 4th, and you can still register for that. There's still hotel rooms available. You will see myself and Ajong and Carolyn and Alyssa at that conference if you're going. And then Tuesday, November 7th, our November monthly meeting will be after the support groups in Plano, the dual support groups, and we're focusing on mental health and athletes. So the truth behind thriving under pressure. It's not a lot of people think about the mental health and athletes, think about Simone Biles and just the pressure that they're under to perform at the level that they perform and what it takes to do that and the toll it takes on your mental health. So that's our next monthly meeting. And then thank you, everybody. We can't do this without you. We just appreciate everyone, our board members, our staff, and especially all the volunteers who donate their time to make sure that our community is the most stigma-free, non-judgmental, supportive mental health family in North Texas. I welcome you to stick around, ask questions about anything you heard today, hang out with us for a bit. Joe, I'll turn it back over to you if you have anything to add.
All right. Well, thank you guys again for making time and spending it with us. I want to echo the sentiments of we would not be where we are and we wouldn't be who we are without each and every one of us and playing our respective roles and plugging in our different ways. This is an us and not a you, right? This is a we and not an I. Like we work together, right? And this us formation to move the needle in the right direction and save lives, you know, one story at a time, one volunteer hour at a time, one step at a time. And we want you to know that you are never alone. And this is not a community where we suffer in silence. We have a community where if we need help, the support is here. And if we can't find it, then we'll will it into existence somehow, or network you or connect you with the resource accordingly. So we want to open up the floor for any other pieces of maybe perspectives want to add or questions, or maybe something that resonated with you that we shared throughout the hour together. Again, this is kind of an open forum. This will officially be kind of the close of the business meeting and just opening up the floor for any perspectives or thoughts that would like to be shared. Athena and I will hang back, and of course, any other board members or staff that would like to do the same, you're welcome to do so.
And Tracy, if you're still out there, I'm sorry I missed you. Yes, you are a state trainer as well, and one of our rock star volunteers who is always available for us. So I definitely need to recognize Tracy. Sorry I missed you.
I have just an observation. Y'all may, I'm Kelly Palmer.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi there, doctor. How are you?
Good.
Good. Anyway, if I can speak for a second, I have a son who's has some schizophrenia, and we're from the fundraising side. I think it's Carolyn that is handling the fundraising. Is that right? Anyway, raise your hand, Carolyn. That's you.
That would be Casey. Casey.
Okay. Yep. Sorry, Casey. Sorry, Carolyn. Sorry, Casey. Anyway, Casey, have we worked with, as NAMI worked with the educational foundations within each school district for fundraising? I know y'all are making headways with the schools, but the educational foundations have a lot of money in them that make donations every year to specific causes. And, I didn't know if that's something we've approached before with each school district within North Texas. But that's a source of funding in many ways that they handle, and their donations come from different places as well that can actually lead to other donations. So that's just as a question. It's kind of a yes or no. If you're doing it, great, fantastic. If that's something y'all hadn't discussed yet, that's certainly an avenue to get involved with.
I actually had not thought of that idea. So that's actually a great idea, especially for our places that have NAMI on campus, because those are school kind of partnered programs with a teacher or staff member being a part of that and leading it. So that's a perfect opportunity for us to partner with that staff member to
Mhm.
petition for grant from the Education Foundation. So that's a great idea. Thank you for bringing that up.
And a good one to start with is probably with Plano. And just saying. The other thought I had was Nicole. Thank you for all you do. The Plano Police Department has been at our house a few times and other places, and we really appreciate all the work your staff, the police officers, have done a great job. The team that you've built and have trained have done an awesome job, and they do a good job within our community. Thank you.
That's feedback about how our officers are doing. So thank you so much for letting me know that even though there are stressful situations when you have to call the police to your home, that they all went smoothly for you here in Plano.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't say that, but the police part went very smoothly.
Yeah, I guess that's what I meant, but
the other side, it wasn't going as smooth.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you so much. Really appreciate everything y'all do.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. That's excellent. And then it makes me think about our current partnership, right, with CIS, City and Schools, right? That can be another access point for, schools that seem to have more buy-in, right, that CIS is already working with and working that leverage there. Okay, what else is out there?
Hi, I was wondering, as far as like the speaking things go, is that something that someone with a mental illness can do, or is that not necessarily like that? Is that more like a social work type of thing, or?
So you're saying being able to speak in what capacity, like at events or a part of a support group? Jeremy, help us understand how we can best support that.
I think I was kind of referencing more of like the events, I guess. I mean, I kind of, I don't know. That's kind of what I was referencing.
You're talking about like when we go out and do resource tables, Jeremy. Anybody can come out, any volunteer. I think I got a message.
Question, Jeremy?
So you say people go out and speak. Does that not like a speaking thing, or is that not like what you meant?
I can jump in for a little bit. I mean, if I'm not just getting more cooks in the kitchen here. So we have different speaking events that are like smaller, where people request presentations from us about mental health. And that's open to pretty much anyone and everyone when it comes to volunteers. We just kind of go over our presentation slides with you, just so if you are asked a question, you might have a little more information on the slides, but that's open to family members, peers, allies, anyone. So we can definitely plug you into those opportunities. And then if you're talking about bigger events, kind of like our monthly general meetings and things like that, we could definitely, if we ever construct like a panel of peers, or if we're wanting a perspective that you can offer, we'll absolutely reach out to you and be more, I don't want to say like transparent, because it's not like we're hiding anything, but like we'll talk about what we're planning a little bit more. That way you can volunteer yourself for those types of events if you don't, cross our mind for some reason.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's a great place to be in your own, kind of recovery journey, Jeremy. And a good starting point is just making that interest known and working with us to kind of figure out how we can best get you plugged in and grow that interest as you develop and continue on your success. Okay, what else is out there, y'all? This is great. This is our community. We're here for each other.
It's like to say I had an experience that was really wonderful, and it was where NAMI, I guess he was a staff member, and he came to a relatively small group. Maybe there were 15. And it was a Sunday school class at a church. And it was really, I don't know, I just went over very, very well. I, of course, kind of introduced him, and also the fact that, you know, I've had a team of walkers back. Now it's getting to be almost 5 years now since I've done, oh no, more than that. Wow, decade. But the approach was that, you know, I would go ahead and tell, and I was a clueless parent, totally clueless when my son broke with reality and whatever, and so in need of something. And so I just kind of related what had happened. And then this man, oh, I can't even remember his name. It's senility here, but creeping senility for me, brought his service dog to the meeting. And everyone was riveted on the dog. And we had all these questions about the dog. But, you know, I think too, we had led up to that. And maybe that was what they were more comfortable talking about than actually the mental illness part. But we got it across. And so, you know, I just felt really, really good about it. And so I would recommend that if you have a group that's willing, and most of them are, I mean, churches are a good place to have them because they're caring, giving people, and they, you know, feel empathy. That's the thing, you know, the empathy, and especially if there are people with mentally ill family members. So, and we had the history of the NAMI walks too. So this really brought it to us, you know, that they were there, you're there, and you just have to make the connections and so on and so forth. But the fact that my husband and I were coming from nowhere, I mean, just absolutely, totally out of this scene, really made it, I think, just a wonderful thing for us to be able to refer to NAMI and have it there, have a person there. And whether he spoke about NAMI or not, I had mentioned that, you know, they were the ones who shed the light and I guess saved us from utter despair. So I want to say what you do out there is good and is important, and it can be very well received. I don't know how they receive it in the schools. Maybe they think they're never going to have any problems like that, the kids, but it does happen a lot more than people realize. And so keep up the good work. And I'm going to sign off. But really, I can't rave enough about it. Okay, it was wonderful. And it has been a wonderful thing for my family, even though there's no cure. And we're going to have to live with it the rest of our lives, as long as our son is alive. It's really a helpful support.
We appreciate
Amen.
you, Joanne. Thank you.
You know, thank you so much, Joanne. That's really wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Okay, well, know that this is a community where the conversation always continues. So maybe it didn't come to you in this space because it just doesn't vibe with you to have a virtual setting and to speak up. But know that we're here for you. We're only a phone call away. If you know where the office is, we're only a drive away, an email away. So let this conversation continue as you continue in your own journey, you know, as you care for yourself and those around you, and continue to work towards making that stigma thing that we talk about a lot extinct. We have a lot of work to do and we can't do it alone. So we thank you all for your time. Oh, Kenitra, do I see a hand?
Yes, and I'm so sorry.
Wonderful.
I was trying to clear up another call, but I just want to thank you guys so much. I am a newer nonprofit organization And you guys came to our back to school drive this year. And I definitely want to make sure we are a part of you guys' resource fair, and whatever we can do in our organization. I definitely want to make sure that you guys know we are here, and we definitely would love to work with NAMI. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. We appreciate you so much, Kenitra.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well, if that's not a high note to end on, I don't know what is. So let's keep that energy going. And thank you all again for your time. And Athena, thank you so much for getting the slides together and as always keeping us corralled and organized. Very much appreciated.